Okay. Recording. Hi. Okay. So as I was saying before, I'll just recap real quick. I am going on a Disney cruise with our upline, Carla Burns, to the Bahamas next month. And we are working on the things that she's going to teach us on that shift, about that mindset shift, about, she's doing it week by week. So she's having us like assess our habits right now, and then turning around those ideas that we have about ourselves just over time, and helping us become the best version of ourselves, to be as successful as we want to be, and to meet those goals that we want to meet. So every week she's breaking this down for us with a Disney movie, and then going over the lessons in the movie, and also from her book. So if you guys have not read her book, I highly suggest it. It's on Amazon. It's like $9. You can get it at Barnes & Noble too, if you have one of those by you. It's a very short book. It's like not even 200 pages. It's a short read. There's like 5 chapters. It's like not even 200 pages. And I've got to tell you that that book was instrumental for me, because it really helped me break through that glass ceiling. That it helped me make that mindset shift of, I've never had a problem with my work ethic or not working, like not having ambition. That's never been an issue for me. But I knew that I had a tendency of working really hard, putting out a plan, setting up a goal, but then I would end up like spinning my wheels and kind of like overworking myself in an unorganized way. I'm telling you what my tendencies are, okay? Like everybody else has different ones. I'm just telling you what it was for me. And reading that book just really helped me shift my focus and only put my focus on what it was that I wanted. And everything else was just noise. That's all I could see, and that's all that I thought about. So I had all this work and all this momentum behind me of time and actually doing stuff to it actually happening very quickly. So the month that I was promoted to Diamond and I earned the $10,000 bonus, I was reading this book. So if that's something that you want to do, I highly recommend that you read this book, because I can't take that journey for you. That's a personal thing, right? So there's things you'll find out about yourself only you will know. But what I am going to share with you guys tonight is that she had us assess ourselves, and she also had us shift the way that we thought about ourselves to get to, I hope I'm making sense, because I'm very excited, so I tend to like go all over the place when I'm excited about something. She helped us shift and look at like where our habits needed to change and where our vocabulary that we use needed to change. So I'm going to go over that with you guys tonight. I think it's important. You might want to get out a pen and a paper. Not really supposed to be sharing this with you guys, but I am. That's my ability. All right. So number 1 is, how many books do you read a month? Okay. If you don't read, that's not a habit that you have, I would start there. Make reading a habit for a couple reasons. Not just because of the knowledge, but because every single successful person that I know in this company that make thousands and millions of dollars, they read on a regular basis. They don't listen to audiobooks. They don't just listen to podcasts. That's like a bonus, but they read books. And they don't even read a book a month. They read a book a week. The people in this company that make a lot of money, they read a book a week because they're thirsty for learning, and they're thirsty for having the ability to be open enough to know that they don't know everything. So when you think that you know everything, That's when you stop growing. And in this business, the more that you grow, the more that you get paid. So you always want to be growing, right? Growing in your paycheck, growing in your customers, growing in your team. But that growth is a process, and it requires you working on yourself just as much as you work on your business. I don't think anybody on this team has an issue of not working hard enough, or not doing enough, or not having a goal. I think all of you guys are like 100% in all of those categories, but maybe what's missing is you're not taking time for yourself, or you're not taking time for working on yourself, and you don't see that as a valuable asset to your business. When in reality, that's the most valuable asset that you have to bring to your business. So some of you guys have known me for the whole time I've been doing this. Some of you guys have only known me a little short time. I'm definitely not the person I was 5 years ago when I started this business. I have changed a lot. So good. Cassandra, you're reading Dream Life. Awesome. So if you don't read, please start reading. You're going to get paid more. I promise you. Okay. And if you are reading, how many books are you reading a month? Me personally, I'm going to like point myself out because I'm calling myself out tonight on the left stuff. I do read. I love to read. However, I have a consistency issue when it comes to reading. I let other things come first when they shouldn't. This should be like at the top of my list at the beginning of my day before I talk to anybody else. So I'm working on the consistency of reading because I'm not a fast reader. I never have been. So for me to read a book a month, I have to consistently do it every day to actually be done with the book in a month. So I'm working on the consistency of reading a book a month. I have like 13 books on my bookshelf right now that I have not read. I would like to read those in the next couple months. I would like to get to the point where like it's such a habit ingrained in me to read a book a month that I read more than one book a month. That's where I'm like, that's what I'm building myself up to, because I love to read. I don't make the time to do it, and I should. And I know I should. I know I should. And there's books that I've read that are so good that I would love to read again because they were that good. Sometimes when a book's like really changing something in your life or in your habits, like you should read it again because you might have not caught something the first time and you catch it the second time. When a book's like really, really good, I read it several times. So see, you don't even have to read like different books every month. You could even go back to like the same 5 for the next couple months. That's totally fine. The next thing is, do you have a mentor? Okay. And if you do, who is your mentor? Having a mentor is super, super important in this business. And I'm not saying like it has to be somebody that you talk to every day or even every week. Your mentor could be like Tony Robbins could be your mentor. And you can just consistently tap into his work on a weekly basis, or like listen to his, I think he has a podcast too, listen to his podcast or go to his events or read his books or whatever, like whatever you need to have that connection. But it's important to have a mentor. And let me give you the qualification of what's a good mentor. A mentor should be somebody that has done something that you want to do, or somebody that has been successful in an arena that you want to be successful in. Okay, so I mean, it could be somebody that you really want to be a mother on that level to your child with. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be about this business, but you should have a mentor. Having a mentor is very important, because when you come to some crossroads in your life, in your business, sometimes having that person to talk to, again, somebody that is very successful in an arena that you want to be successful in. Those are the people you should be talking to. Okay, so like keep that in mind. It's important because they help you keep your focus where it should be. And they help you sometimes see the greatness that's inside of you, that sometimes challenges, obstacles in life come up and you don't have the clarity to see. That's why it's important to have a mentor. For me, my mentor is Margarita Vargas in our company. She's my mentor. When the shit hits the fan, she's the person I talk to. She's when I feel unsure about something, she's the person I reach out to, because she always has an encouraging word for me. And she always reminds me where I'm going. And she always reminds me what my vision is for this team. And she always tells me, you can do it. I know you're going to do it. So that's what I mean. You need somebody like that in your life. It's very, very important, because it's easy to get off the path when you're going towards the goal, because things happen. Life happens, challenges happen, obstacles come up. That's just life though. You know, it's, if you really want something, you have to just go get it. That's just the way that it is, you know. All right, that being said, how would you rate yourself in your ability to overcome major setbacks quickly? Okay, everybody's not good at this. Okay, so if you're not good at this, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful. As a matter of fact, if you can see right now that you're not good at this, then you know how to fix it. So that's a good thing. So in all honesty, on a scale of 1 to 7, how quickly would you rate your ability to overcome major setbacks quickly? It's different for everybody. This is for you to assess yourself. Something that Margarita taught me that absolutely changed my business is, she asked me one time, do you go back into the month that you just passed and look at the things that did work and that didn't work? Do you go back and look at your team's production and what was going on in their life, or the numbers that were coming in and why they were coming in, or the connectedness that you had on your team and why it was happening? Do you analyze yourself? And I was like, no, I don't. I just put my head down and I work. That's what I do. And she said, well, how are you supposed to change things or shift things in your business if you're not looking at things that didn't go the way you wanted them to? Are you looking at that? So when she said that to me, I instantly knew, okay, what makes a good leader is somebody that has the ability to look at what did not work out, not feel bad about it, but actually do something different when they figure that part out. Failure teaches you a lot. Failure is actually what makes you successful. So never be afraid of failure. If you're failing right now, that's a good thing. That means you're learning a lot. And I've learned so much about myself as a leader, as a business owner, when I failed, more than when I was victorious. So it makes you who you are. It's a good thing. All right. So that being said, there's like 3 more questions. Let me just finish that. Number 5. Now, some of you, this is not a habit yet, and if it's not, that's okay. I'm telling you what has made her successful, and what she's teaching us is going to help us be more successful than where we already are right now. She wrote, do you set aside time to think and meditate daily? When I started this business, I thought, in all honesty, that that was a waste of my time. I was very familiar with meditation. I knew the benefits of it. Did I schedule it in my schedule to do it as a daily thing? No, I didn't. Again, I had a consistency issue with that. What actually made me do this on a regular basis was when I was pregnant with my daughter, because I had so much anxiety during my pregnancy that I was not allowed to exercise. So my only option was to meditate. So that's when it seriously became a habit for me, something I knew how to do for a really long time, but it was not a daily habit. It was like a when things are going wrong habit. It was not an everyday habit. It became an everyday habit when I was pregnant with Katerina. So just to show you how important that is. If that's not something you do every day, that's okay. There's always room for you to create these habits, right? That's why we're here. Number 6 was, do you have an updated dream board? Most of us on here have the habit of creating a dream board at the beginning of the year. Some of you have not, because that's still kind of a new concept to you. So you're just like understanding the importance of it. And that's fine. It doesn't matter where you are with it. I just want you to ask yourself, do you have an updated dream board? Do you still have the same one from last year? Do you still have the same one from 6 months ago? Like, what is the status with that? Okay. And then the last thing is, when you're stressed, what do you do first? There's constructive habits that are good for you to do when you're stressed, and there's not so constructive habits to do when you're stressed. I'm guilty of both. When I am stressed, I naturally, my number one reaction is to eat something that's not healthy for me. That's like what I want to do. Do I stop myself? Most of the time. It's still like the trigger, and that's what I want to do. I've gotten a lot better at it over time, but it's still something that, I don't know, it's like comforting. What I know I would be so much better for me is to exercise, because I know when I'm exercising, I feel much more in control of my life and a lot more empowered just as a person. I feel strong. So I feel like whatever it is that's stressing me out, I can handle it. I don't know. That's just the way it works for me. And then I also take Confianza. It's an amazing supplement that we have, and it just helps all the way around. So ask yourself what you do and why you do it. Because if you don't ask yourself why you do the things that you do, you can't move forward and get out of the stuck, if anybody's stuck here. Is anybody stuck here? Okay. All right. My notes quickly. Okay. So now that we talked about like the assessment part of what are my habits, like what am I really doing? Now let's talk about what successful people do. Okay. I'm sure you've noticed that there's a very big difference between successful people and their habits and unsuccessful people and their habits. Okay. Number 1 was the big one, reading. People that are like business owners and successful people, people that have successful jobs, whatever you want to put, attach the word success to, they read. People that are cool with their life and like the way things are, and they have no desire to grow, they have no desire to change anything, they watch TV because it's mindless, and they can sit there and just like detach from their day and themselves. Okay. So, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with watching TV. Like, watching TV has its place. That's fine. If that's something you like to do, hey, more power to you. But I'm saying that's the difference between a person that's ambitious and like knows what they want to go in life, and then somebody that doesn't do anything to change their life. Do you see that there's like a big difference there? One person just like watches their life go by literally on TV. The other one exercises their brain and reads, learns new things. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about was successful people use different words. So if you've ever noticed, she used the example of Pam Sutter, our Chief Networking Officer, and Mark Pentecost, our CEO, that they always use words like excellent and brilliant. Denise was on, she was on the Zoom, and she said she always uses the word absolutely, because absolutely means I'm doing it. I'm not like questioning it. I'm not like wishy-washy about it. I'm not like trying to decide. I'm doing it. So that's why I use the word absolutely a lot. That's what she said. So unsuccessful people, and if you use these words, please take them out of your vocabulary immediately. And it's okay if you use them because you didn't know, but now you know. So stop using it. Unsuccessful people use the word maybe, I can't, probably, and stuff like that. Synonyms for that. Okay? That's why when you guys say, I'll try, to me, it's like you just spit in my coffee. Because I'll try means to me, wait a minute, does she think she can't do it? Because I know she can. Why would she say, I'll try? Why wouldn't you just do it? And then see if you were good at it or not afterwards. Like, it has no prediction of how the outcome is going to be. It just sounds like I don't know, it's a sad word to me. I don't like it. So take those words out of your vocabulary and replace them with things that are more empowering to you. Things that make you feel good about yourself, things that make you feel successful, and like a person that can do what they set out to do, because all of you can. You all can reach your goals. You are a group of highly talented people with tons of skills. And if you weren't, you wouldn't be here. Because honestly, I don't recruit people that I don't think can do this. I just don't even ask them. Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for caliber. So if you're here and you're on this team, obviously it means something was seen in you. That's why you're here. Okay? So I want you guys to take yourselves seriously. And I want you guys to see yourself the way that I see you. Because I see great things for all of you. And I want you guys to take yourselves to that place mentally. Because when you take yourself to that place mentally, things start to happen. And if you know anything about manifestation, you know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Things start to shift. People start showing up in your business that you didn't even know were watching you. You start getting these random messages from people, you know, like, where did that come from? They weren't even on my list. Like, I'm not even through my list, and this person messaged me. Well, why did they message you? Because you're doing the work. You're going down your list. You're talking to people. So then God's like, here you go. Here's a free one. This one's interested right now. Talk to them. That's why things like that happen, because you set that intention. Okay? I got an amen. All right, cool. you guys are digging this. All right. I thought you would be as excited about it as I was. I was super excited about it. Okay. Second thing is body language. successful people have a certain body language, right? Like Carla was saying, when they walk into a room, they own the room. They're not arrogant, they're not conceited, they're not full of themselves, they're just confident. When they walk into that room, and naturally, because of their energy, people turn around to see who walked into the room. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? If you've gotten married and you were wearing a wedding dress, you know what I'm talking about. Because people did it when you walked down the aisle and got married, right? They all went like, oh, the bride, what is she wearing? She looks so beautiful, right? There's that bride glow. It's not a glow, it's happiness. It's that energy that draws people in, and they want to know what you're wearing. They want to be around you because you're so happy. Like people love going to weddings, right? Because they love seeing that happiness and being around that love. So make yourself a magnet for the things that you want. Okay, successful people, they have an upright posture. Okay, so if you slouch, you're not going to slouch anymore because you're successful. So you're going to like sit upright and not like sit like this, right? I'm a sloucher, so I have to remind myself all the time. They smile, right? They smile. They look at people in the eye. They make eye contact. They smile because it's warm and it connects you to another person. And they shake your hand when they're meeting you, right? Because they're confident enough to stick out their hand and shake your hand, right? They also have focused energy. They know where they're going. So they're not like scatterbrained all over the place, okay? I'm very guilty of being like scatterbrained. So I'm speaking for myself there, but that's an important one. Okay. And then the difference, I'm sure you know what the difference is. Somebody that's not as confident about themselves or not as assured, they're more hesitant, they slouch, they don't take up as much space, right? They don't really make eye contact with you when they're talking to you. Has anybody like met somebody like that? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you've come across somebody like that. And it's like weird, right? It's like, why are they so timid? Okay. And then the last thing is the habits of a successful person. Now this one you're gonna want to write this down, because if you don't have these habits, that's okay. That's why we're here. You can make these habits something that you do regularly. Okay. So I love Sandra's hair too. Isn't it cool? It's like blue and turquoise and all these cool colors. So successful people, they're consistent. Okay, so if you're already consistent, well, that's good. You already got a really good habit going on for you. They are reliable. So when they say they're going to do something, they do it. They have integrity. Again, when they say they're going to do something, they do it. They also value their time and their energy. And another thing I noticed about successful people is they're very careful who they spend their time with, who has influence over them. And have you guys heard that saying, you are always the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? Maybe not. So if the 5 people that you spend the most time with don't make more money than you do, they're not smarter than you, and they're not more successful than you are, then you need to start spending a little bit more time with people that are, because you want that influence around you. We're human beings. We need a focus. We need a goal. We need something to aspire to. And if that's not consistently around you on a regular basis, you start to accept what's going on in your life right now as the normal thing, and you don't push yourself past that. I'm telling you this because it's true, okay? Like, I know this is true. Even when I didn't have, you know, that much money. It's not like I'm a billionaire right now. Be nice though. But even when I was at times where money was tight or I was trying to like grow my ability for abundance, change my money mindset, I did not hang out, nor did I talk to people that were broke. If they said I'm broke, if that came out of their mouth, I would not hang out with them. I was like on a negativity diet when I was shifting my mindset when it came to money. Because you have to welcome that kind of abundance before it shows up. So you have to live in that space of like it's already here even when it's not, and that's hard to do, you guys. I'm not saying like this is something that's easy. It's not. It's you're working on your brain, like you're working on your thinking. It's a muscle, like you're working on it day in and day out to make that shift. But I promise you that if you make that shift, things are going to actually change in your life. So those of you that said that you're stuck or that things are not going the way that you wanted them to, or things are not moving along in a fast enough timeline for you, or maybe you feel like you should change the way you're doing something, something's off. I want you to ask yourself, who are you spending most of your time with? And I'm not saying like if this person lives in your house, if this person is your spouse, like I'm not saying don't talk to them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have other influences around you. You know, if there's like somebody that you look up to that's like super uber, super successful in business, like watch their videos on a regular basis or listen to their podcasts on a regular basis, their books, whatever. But have that around you because it's really important to make that shift, right? She also talked about how unsuccessful people are scattered, they're random, they don't really care who they hang out with, and they like to waste a lot of time. She also gave the example of like cleaning out your closet changes a lot of things. I know it sounds silly, but she was saying changing your closet or cleaning up your closet is something that she would recommend doing if you're trying to go for the next rank or the next promotion or the next income level. And she said, literally look at your clothes and say like, would a diamond wear this? Like, is this a diamond's wardrobe or a double diamond or a triple diamond or an emerald or whatever it is that you're going for? Would they wear this? Is this something that they would represent themselves with in their clothes? And she said, don't be afraid to throw out things that no longer serve a purpose for you and don't make you feel like your best self, because you have to believe that you have enough and that you'll have something better than that thing that you're throwing away. Because if you keep it, then you're like in that scarcity mindset, and you don't want to be in a scarcity mindset when you're trying to abundantly bring things into your life. So that was a cool example. And then she also talked about like if you have a messy car, which I totally do. So as soon as I got off the Zoom, I scheduled my oil change appointment for my car and to get a car washed. So yeah, that's it for that. I hope that wasn't too much for you guys and it was as beneficial to you as it was to me. You do that often, you clean out your closet? Yeah, I go through my clothes every single year and I throw out stuff I haven't worn that year. Because why am I keeping it? Like, if you haven't worn it in a year, you're probably not gonna wear it. Unless you're pregnant. I didn't do that when I was pregnant because you don't know what you're gonna fit into once you have a baby. And you need like several sizes of clothes. But that's a habit I had, that I was always doing that every year. Okay, so does anybody have any questions before we go on?
Could you repeat? Did you say there were 6 questions?
Yeah.
Could you repeat them for me, please?
Yes, I'll put them in the chat. You're in the chat, right? Yes. This is an assessment of your habits, okay? It's very, very put it in here. I'll call it habit assessment. How about that? Honestly, like I wish somebody had told me this like 5 years ago. Because if I was doing this 5 years ago, I would be like an ambassador, triple black diamond right now. I would not be like, I wish I knew this a while ago. So the fact that you guys are getting this now is total blessing. Because in all reality, if you don't know where you're missing the mark, how are you supposed to make it better, right?